Last time. Renoa in a coma. Squall gonna ball. Idea Ultimecia. It's far to Esthar. Sorceress misplaced in space. Adele. Breaking news. Moon rescues endangered species and promptly delivers them to Earth. Laguna wins presidential election. Cypher a failure yet again. Squall now must save Renoa from Cypher, who is forcing her to fuse with Adele. Renoa almost reaches Cypher's conscience, but as soon as he hears Squall, he throws Renoa to Adele, who is waking from her prison as she reaches for Renoa. Now you will be in a fight with a fused Renoa and Adele. If you aren't careful, Renoa will die by Adele's hands. Or yours. Things are now a little bit more complicated. But also, this is where I realized I am very ill-prepared for this last part of the game. Because at the start you run into 2 boss fights, both of which I realized I wouldn't be able to beat without cheating. This is unsatisfying, and I decided to take the big fat L and go back to the 3rd disc to level up. This is a good chance for me to talk about the GFs, limit breaks, other places, and the unique mechanic of this game. Let's start with the unique mechanic that should lead a great segue to the GFs. The unique mechanic to Final Fantasy VIII is the draw mechanic. I know there is more to this, like the fact that magic no longer costs mana, but are treated as if they are an item. So you have 2 blizzard magics, use 1, now the math says you have 1 left. Also, magic is treated as if they are also equipment bonuses, and the more of the magic you got, the better the bonus. But in order to obtain these magics, you need to draw your hand, you son of a... or just use the command draw. Of course, some abilities allow you to create magic from items. The enemy will have a specific drawable magic on their person, and you can have only up to 100 per person. Another thing you can draw that I didn't know about are GFs. See, I told you it'd be a good segue. So it turns out that once you are able to explore the world, you can go to certain places and obtain a new GF if you are able to go past their trials. Usually after they reveal themselves to you, they start a fight. Some GFs are handed to you as default, while others are literally handed to you. On the flip side, you can go to explorable places and obtain new GFs as mentioned before. However, something that never occurred to me was to draw from an enemy to see if they got a gosh darn GF. Until this moment when I decided to level up my characters. Not knowing where other GFs were, I looked up only to find that some boss fights contain a GF, and if you were unable to draw from these fights, you can again draw in the 4th disc. GFs have learnable abilities which you level up by gaining a required amount of APs. And APs are obtained through regular fighting and battles. You can summon a GF in battle to deal devastating damage or apply buffs or debuffs. Although GFs deal devastating damage to some enemies, limit breaks are literally your last stand attacks. The requirements for limit break is usually when the character is brought to their knees, their health is at yellow, which sometimes, not always, makes these devastating moves available to execute. Squall has his Ronzo Kuken, which is a barrage of devastating blows in one turn. Executing this ability usually leads to a final unique limit break, but not all the time. The move that is used is randomized, but it's still devastating. These unique limits are available to what equipment Squall currently has on, with his final weapon, Lionheart, making all of these limits available. He has Rough Divide, Fated Circle, Blasting Zone, and Lionheart, each move being wonderfully flashy as the last. Zell has the Limit Break Duel, which allows you to input commands leading to a devastating finisher. Although, I found getting to said finisher is hard. It is not impossible. In order for him to obtain more moves, you need to find and read these fighter magazines. Some of these finishers require specific move choices to be made available, and you are on limited time. So just keep putting a command until you find the path to the finisher. Zell's moves are Punch Rush, Heel Drop, Booyah, which is a headbutt, Mach Kick, Meteor Strike, Dolphin Blow, Burning Rave, Meteor Maret. Marae. And the last two are the finishers I never got to see until I looked it up. Different Beat, where Zell just backflips into the sky, and My Final Heaven, where he literally pulls a Flash. Twisty has Blue Magic as her Limit Break, which is a special magic that allows the user to use abilities that are unique to enemies. There are many I don't have and have not even seen, and you will obtain some items from fallen enemies after a battle that when given to Twisty, she shall learn new magics permanently. Selphie has a unique Limit Break called Slot. This gives her a chance to cast a random magic of however many quantity at whatever random enemy or ally, and you can select the command Do-Over to get a different spell to cast. She can cast magic that is already available like Ice, Fire, and Thunder, rare magics like Ultima and Meteor, buffs and debuffs. However, she has 4 exclusively unique magics: Full Cure, Wall, Rapture, and The End. I've seen The End once, but I have never selected it because at the time I still didn't really understand her Limit Break. Although looking it up kinda gave me a laugh, honestly. Granola has 2 Limit Breaks, but the other becomes available after she becomes a sorceress. Disc 3. Her limits being Combine and Angel Wing. Combine is a limit break that allows Renoa to use her dog Angelo in combat. Although she can use Angelo with her limit break, she can have him learn moves that are kind of like passives or counters. Angelo Rush is a counter-attack move. Angelo Search is where the dog searches for items. I don't think I ever saw this one. Angelo Recover, he heals you when you take damage. Angelo Reverse, he revives a fallen ally. And then we have his Limit Break moves: Angelo Cannon, Angelo Strike, Invincible Moon, and Wishing Star. Finally, Irvin has the Limit Break Shots. This is a limit break where its effects are changed by the ammo being used. Basically shoot however many times within the time limit. Some ammo are faster upon execution, others are slow but devastating. And there are more types that can leave status ailments. Other available characters have limit breaks, but rarely did I see them. There are other places made available once you obtain the floating garden. However, there are places only available once you get the spaceship Ragnarok. Some places have missions that can give you a unique item, other places where you can get the GF, and places that you can find references from Laguna's past. There is a place that changes once you achieve Bahamut. If you go further down and solve the puzzle, you will start a fight with the Ultima weapon. He is really difficult, but you can draw a GF from him and get a lot of Ultimas from him. So once I have finished the grind, I have gotten all characters to level 99 with their strongest and final weapons and gotten all the GFs that I could get at this moment. I should mention that Odin works differently than the other GFs. The GFs require a time limit to be summoned, and the player's health bar is then replaced with the GF's health. If the GF's health reaches 0 before the bar goes down, then the GF will need to be revived. When the bar reaches the end, then they are summoned to show off their skills. However, once you recruit Odin, he will not be a junctionable GF and he cannot be summoned on command. Instead, he randomly appears at the start of a battle to defeat all available enemies immediately. What I failed to mention in the last video was that the GF you teamed up with that died in one strike against Cypher was Odin. Defeating Cypher a second time with the best equipment, max level, and decent magic junctions was such a breeze and made everything easier, especially since I learned what Aura did. Back to the fight with Adele. Once you defeat her, Rinoa will be taken over by Ultimecia, and Ellen sends Rinoa and Ultimecia to Adele in the past. This will allow Ultimecia to achieve her goal of time compression. After some trippy shit that includes even the save space, he will be put into another fight with other Ultimecias. Defeat the lot of them and you will eventually fight the big one. Once she is defeated, you are back at Idea's home. But things seem to be a little different. Numerous dead Seed members and a castle that is chained to the shores of Idea's home is what the team come across. Once they climb the chains, they decide to charge right in. However, turns out a lot of their abilities were sealed off. Now understand that after losing to the fake Ultimecia the first time, I decided to grind a lot of sessions following after realizing I am too lower leveled. Non-stop grinding with, I admit, cheats to speed things up, but when I finally reached max level with all equipment, I charged in only to have all my abilities sealed off. I have never been cock-blocked so badly in my entire life. This pissed me off not because of the grind itself, not because of my scheduling, and not because of the events that led to this, but it was the perfect circumstance from satisfaction of one's own persistence paying off to being forcibly regressed back to a weakened state. God damn, I hate this and love this at the same time. Fight some bosses and solve some puzzles along the way and you will be able to unlock all your abilities one by one. You could head straight to Ultimecia, but I think it is best to unlock all abilities. Actually, if you choose the right abilities to unlock, you don't need all of them to defeat Ultimecia. Just like the Ultima weapon, there is a sequence of activations that allow you to begin a fight with the Omega weapon. I lost horribly, with barely a chance, and decided to just continue to Ultimecia. Ultimecia will start a battle with your entire squad. You will start with Irvin and Quisty by your side. When a team member dies, they will be switched out with another member. Oh god, they better not be gone for good. Ultimecia will be the first phase of the fight. The next phase is when she then summons a GF that seems to be familiar, Griever. Once Griever is defeated, it is on to the third phase, where Ultimecia pulls a fast one and junctions herself onto Griever. After that, she then reaches her final form. You will know you have defeated her once she starts to talk. As time begins to return to normal, the squad, all back and safe from the fight, are now trying to get back. Everyone makes it out before Squall, who is still wandering through time. He ends up back at Idea's home when he was still a child, where we see how the idea of seeds and gardens were created, and how Ultimecia was able to take hold of Idea in the first place. Wow, so this is happening technically after the fight has won. Now that I think about it, this creates an unending loop for Ultimecia. She is born in the future, achieves time compression, loses to Squall and friends, gives her powers to Idea and fails, possesses Renoa and achieves time compression, only to lose to Squall and friends all over again. And this creates an ever-failing time loop. With Squall setting the wheels in motion, it is time for him to head back to his present time. He gets lost, however, which leads to this trippy sequence, which I assume is just a result of him overthinking about Renoa. And the fact that he is still lost in the shadows of time don't help when they show him vivid images of his thoughts. With thoughts of Renoa ending up with Cypher to the thought of what if he didn't save her in space. The thoughts took hold of him and he is now lost in time. Renoa searches for him and finds him, only to bring him back to the present. And here we see our happy ending for everyone. Cypher, although has been removed from Garden, is now just living his best life with his friends by his side, and Laguna seems to have gone back in time to propose to Rain. Rain still passes away, but he is no longer regretting about his past. Laguna smiles as the garden flies off into the distance. During the credits, we see a recording of everyone in the garden celebrating, showing Quisty, Selfie, Irvin, and Zell chowing down on hot dogs. We even get to see Sid and the matron, Idea, happily together once again. And we see Renoa talking to someone, only for the video to go out. But keep watching, and the after credits show that Squall and Renoa are together as the garden flies into the moonlight. The end. Not gonna lie, this holds a very special place in my heart, and the fact that I finally beat it for the first time just makes it all the more worthwhile. Well, this is where the story ends for Final Fantasy VIII, and I am really glad that I finally beat it. I hope you guys enjoyed this journey as much as I did, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hey guys, I hope you really did enjoy these videos, because I'm not gonna lie, this was the game that introduced me to Final Fantasy. At least its demo. And with this game done, it is time to jump into the next game. However, maybe with a little time compression and your support by subscribing and hitting the ding dong doorbell, you can see me take a blast from the past and check how a certain ex-soldier's story came to be one of the most popular in the Final Fantasy franchise. Maybe? And please leave a comment down below. It can be about your experience with the game or with other Final Fantasy games, which is your favorite, or you can even say which Square Enix game is your favorite. I'm all ears! Alright guys, thank you again for watching this video and following this journey. Hope to see you guys in the next Journey project.
How you shyly placed your